2015 was a wicked year for us. Jeremy and I killed a buck of a lifetime here in the state of New Hampshire, opening night. Took the pressure off for the rest of the season. But the one thing I definitely learned throughout the rest of the season for the other deer that I was after was I was plagued with a significant amount of hunting pressure. And we obviously know that could be detrimental to what's going to happen to the deer that you're hunting. So I'm going to take 2016 as a rebuilding year. Looking at larger mountain ranges, larger timber. A friend and I discovered a few years ago and slowly started to chip away at it. And this one particular spot I'm checking, I'm going to use boat access. It's a long walk in. Most hunters don't want to access it. Most hunters don't even want to go this far in because if they shoot something, it's a long pack out. And if you think about it, it's no different than what we're doing when we head out west to elk hunt. So we found a spot on the map. We're gonna paddle our way in across this swamp. Set a couple cameras. It's a pinch point between two different swamps. There's one big swamp on the back end of it. I'm just looking for intel, trying to see if the animals are using it. I don't have high expectations that they're going to be using it during the summer months. They might, but I'm really kind of considering it to be a corridor during the rut. So here's the 2016. Maybe we can find some deer to have some fun with. All right, well, we came in here and we were really able to kind of confirm what we saw on a map. It's always a little bit different sometimes when you go into an area, but we've got back behind the camera, we've got a spine that comes down and it runs the edge of a clear cut. They've done some logging in here. So just as I had expected, there's some game trails. You can see where there's a lot of bears that have been kind of come down, pulling logs over and whatnot. But I set a double stand up. This is where I'm going to bank on being here during the rut. I'm going to spend a majority of my time, like I said, making the investment on doing a lot of scouting of the surrounding areas. But I just have this feeling that with the food sources that are all around here and the natural, game movement that's coming through here, we've got intersecting trails. There's an old scrape behind us. I'm going to invest my time by not coming in here, but I'm going to plant a covert special ops camera. I'm hoping that it's going to be taking pictures, throughout the whole summer. I can be low impact. I don't have to come in here with my scent. And the bonus behind it is it's an hour and a half away from my house. We're hoping with any luck throughout the summer, we're going to get some great game camera pictures in here. Just trying to get a head count, see what's moving through here. We are on some big, big timber. So.
All right, well, it's November the 4th, 2016. We're hunting pretty hard, starting today in New Hampshire. Last month I've been out scouting aggressively. I've running about 15 cameras on this mountain within 4 square miles. Really trying to pick up on deer activity, finding travel corridors and pinch points. This morning in particular, that's where we're sitting. And I ended up getting pictures of a buck that I had never seen before in here. And he's got about a 7 to 8 inch drop tine off his left main beam, and he's got a kicker off his right. So it's good to see that there's deer that are moving around here and deer we didn't even know of. So we're back in the saddle. We've got a clear cut right up above us. Big swamp behind us. And off the edge is a big pond. There's just a main corridor deer trail running through here. So this is the time of year where it's ideal to sit these pieces. and getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning to paddle across the swamp. To listen to that. Nuts. Just heard something up here. Did you hear that? Something coming up here.
You got him. Oh my God, dude. I told you were gonna kill that deer. I'm at a loss of words. Did a little bit of calling, thought we heard some walking this morning, and sure enough, coming right down the middle of this pinch point off that swamp is that buck with the drop tine. I'm at a loss of words right now. We're gonna get down into a recovery. I got a real busy day ahead of me, work-wise. Didn't really pick the best day to be in a stand, but November the 9th. What a great buck. Couldn't be more happy to have Jeremy in the stand with me again. And working with everybody that we've been working with for sponsors over the last couple of years. So unfortunately, I would have loved to have been able to kill him with a bow, but how thick it is, and I don't think I would have been able to get it done with a bow. So at any rate, let's get down. We'll do a quick little recovery. He ran right in front of that camera. All right, 2016, what a year. Killed a great public land bull back in New Hampshire. Did 1 month of solid scouting, month of October, so I could make sure I had some good quality sits. I actually started hunting an area an hour from my house. I wanted to get away from hunting pressure. So there was really a lot of dedication and time that went into this, but I ended up getting pictures of this deer about 150 yards away a week or so ago. And a good friend of mine actually started getting pictures of him about 1.5 miles to 2 miles from here. So it really goes to show you what his range, what these big woods deer, their range is. So, you know, when you're scouting and you might get pictures of a deer like this in the summertime, you know, a lot changes when the velvet comes off, especially these big woods deer. You really got to narrow it down to pinch points and travel corridors where these animals are living. This particular deer, if you take a look behind me, we're in a pinch point that's about 30 yards wide. We got a swamp on one side of us and then a pond. So we were able to slip in here with kayaks well before first light, leave no scent, and get in here effectively. The wind was perfect this morning. It was blowing right off that bank back behind us over that pond. This deer came in, and you know, I would have loved to have shot him with a bow, but unfortunately it's just so thick that the few times that I have been sitting here, I realize that if I do have an opportunity at a good mature deer, it might be difficult for me to be able to try to slip an arrow through that stuff. And he did exactly what my fear was. He did step into one hole where I was able to feed him, you know, a bullet. The old Tika strikes again. So, and then he actually came, as you'll see from the footage, he came and he ran underneath us again. You know, knowing your equipment and how to operate it, I shot him again right over the shoulder blades. And then as he was running away, I tried to find a hole, and it looks like I slipped it into his back ham and busted up his whole hind quarter. So you got to do what it takes to anchor him. But what a spectacular deer. I'll never kill a deer with a drop tine. I'm just about sure of it, and he would have had two. But you know, if I had to guess, this deer's got some age on him. So we got a little bit of work to do. And this is cool, man.